I don't know, sir.
Okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
started,
fine.
it's fine.
Okay, Ms. Thompson, or, let me see, who's with Thompson Street? How many people are gonna be testifying? I gotta swear he's in, that's the reason why.
I am.
Okay, Tom, can you raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll swear you in, raise your right, is your name Miss Thompson?
Miss Samuel.
Miss
That's the
Samuel, I'm
address.
sorry, Miss
Yes.
Samuel, please raise your
Yes.
right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody else testifying with you?
No.
Okay, we'll get started. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Yes.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted.
Ted August, board member.
Ryan McSherry, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay. All right,
Thomas Rabikowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
anyone else? Okay, Phil, could you read that into the record?
Yes, sir. This is case MI 2024-005-680 for the property located at 4983 West Thompson Street. Frederia Samuel is the appellant and she's present in the room.
Okay, Tom, you want to start out with this?
What I have that is the property at 4983 West Thompson Street has been declared as unsafe. This case actually goes back to 2019. But in our research, we located another address which the notice was sent out, and that's what brings us to today's appeals hearing. As part of the evidence packet, I will share my screen in a matter of moments and show you that this is a standalone property at the 4900 block of West Thompson Street, specifically 4983 Thompson, and that I can put on record that there was a permit that was entered into our system back in May of this year, May 10th of 2024, where the owner came into the department and was instructed that a make safe permit was required. With that said, I'll share my screen. Can everybody see my screen?
Search is not working. No.
It's coming
Not
up,
quite.
Tom, not yet.
Not working.
Okay, we see
Now
it,
we
Tom.
can.
Okay, so what I have is this is the appeal paperwork that was filled out. Please allow me more time to have, I have 5 children living with me. I have, due to minimum wage, I'm working with family to help fix what's wrong. I have only received this final notice on 2/16/24. If I lose my building, my children and I will be homeless. So it's the appeal filing isn't saying the violation doesn't exist. It's just asking for additional time. In the interest of time itself, I'll share the case summary report that will show photos of the property and show that we sent notices to multiple addresses. But this is, I'll rotate the screen for everyone. There is a rear detached garage on the rear of the property. This is, like I said, it's a standalone property on the 4900 block of West Thompson. And essentially, they need to get a make safe permit for the repair of the property in question and that garage. And the only thing that I have is that it needs to be repaired. I also have a photo that was in our old system dating back to 2020 that shows that there is a partial collapse of the roof on this property or on this parcel 4983 Thompson. So what we would be doing is we would be asking for a permit to be issued within 60 days. With that, I'll rest.
So
Okay,
Tom, this is not about the main building, this is about the garage?
This
That
is
we're
about
talking
the standalone garage, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Ms. Sanders, you want to give your side of the story? Ms. Sanders, do you hear me?
I don't see her anymore.
Hello?
Okay, she's
I'm
back.
Oh,
sorry.
there she is.
Yes,
Okay.
okay, so I was telling Your Honor, I have half the money together. I need about 4 more months. And I have the guy to do the work. He's a licensed roofer that will come in and fix the roof for me. But I just need a little bit more time to get the rest of the money together. I work 47 hours a week. And I am really seriously putting my money to the side to get this fixed along with my expenses for living.
But, so I only have one question and then I'll pose it with the board. Ms. Samuel, this is
Yes.
and is the department is saying that it's the detached garage in the rear of the
Yes, it is a detached garage.
Okay, so you're looking to repair the roof of that garage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you would have to obtain documentation on how you were replacing that roof, how you were connecting that. You're asking for 4 months?
Yes.
I'm petitioning to the board to give you 90 days, which is 2 months. I'd be willing to stretch that to 90 days.
Thank you. I'm gonna do the best I can do. But we said the guy that's doing the work, he has to get in touch with you and show you how he's gonna fix the roof?
No, he has to submit that documentation into the department by way of a make safe permit.
Okay, by way of, can you write that down? By way of a you said make
Make
safe
safe
permit?
permit. Yeah,
Okay.
make safe.
Write that down.
And Tom, is that the only thing that is the roof on the detached garage?
Yes, that's it.
Tom, will that require a structural engineer to provide those drawings either directly to the contractor? Or to Ms.
So
Samuel?
the violation says roof. It looks in the old photos that it looks like it's the detached garage, but the violation is roof. So what I ask is that Mr. Wolchek, who's the representative from Permit Services, make a note that this is the detached garage and that it's not the main structure of the property.
Mhm.
Can I just ask, there are a couple violations for this address with different responsible party names. There's also one for a Narul Sala.
Those are my daughters. Those are my daughters.
So in researching with the on the case record, we found out that this deed was recorded in trust. So we had to serve notice to everybody that was named as a member of that trust. And that's where the appeal came from.
Okay, and all the violations just say site. You said you found, one of them says roof, because I don't see a roof noted anywhere, it just says site. Well, I see roofing
Right.
component.
Hey, good afternoon, Toki. It's Brett over in development. How you doing this afternoon? Good, good. Do you have a second? Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. I just wanted to, I was about to respond to Jack's email, but I was looking over it
Mr.
and
Jenkins, can you mute yourself?
I don't need to send an email. I wasn't sure if that email was meant for me
Mr.
or Brett
Jenkins,
Holden,
can
since
you
there's a lot of
mute
yourself?
questions on there. Do you know what PVB conversions they're specifically talking about by any chance?
Who's Brett?
Brett, please
Padilla?
mute. Brett, please mute.
I'm thinking it's supposed to be Brett Holden.
Bill,
but
are
I
you
don't know.
able to mute him? There.
Oh my God.
I took care of it. I'm sorry.
Who's Brett?
Somebody for another case.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Tom, it's just a roof for the detached garage and you're willing to give 90 days? And Miss Samuels says she can make that work?
I said 4 months. He said 90 days, but he would be willing to stretch it for me.
So I'm right now I'm saying that we're willing to go 90. Ms. Samuel is saying she needs 4 months, which is 120 days. I'll leave that up to the board, but I also asked Mr. Wolchek to make note that it is for the detached garage, not the main roof of the property.
Okay, noted.
Okay. Um. Ted and Amy, you want to caucus for a minute?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ms. Samuels?
Yes,
Okay. It'll be 90 days, but that's to get the permit.
Okay.
Okay?
No,
All
we
right,
agree.
so when
we
you,
agree
you know,
90
you got 90 days to get the permit, then have the work, continue it, you get the permit.
We had
wonderful. Thank
said
you.
90 days to have applied for the permit.
90 days to apply for a permit.
So you need to have an
Alright.
application in. There might be some back and forth with the city. The
Yeah.
work won't start right at that 90 day.
Okay, I have one question. Do I apply for the permit or does the person that's doing the work apply for it?
The
It's
person
often
that's
that the-
doing the work,
Often the
Okay.
contractor will.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
okay?
Yes, thank you.
And
All right,
just
good luck, Ms. Samuels. Talk to you later.
Sure,
right,
make sure
bye-bye.
that your
Oh.
contractor is certified with the city, that they're
Okay, I
licensed
was-
to work with the city.
Yeah,
So-
she says she has a licensed roofer. Yeah,
Right,
okay?
yes,
All
thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
We do have Mr. Henry in the room, so we may want to go back to case number 1.
Yes, okay, that's the one right there.
Yeah.
All right. Case number 1 is 2118 North 7th Street. Eduardo Lanzo and Jerome Henry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who are you?
Jerome Henry.
Okay, you're gonna be testifying, Jerome?
Yes, sir.
Okay, could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody else going to testify with you?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Ryan McSherry, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Thomas Rybakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections.
Tom, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Phil, can you read that into the record?
Yes, sir. This is MI 2024-005660 for the property located at 2118 North 7th Street. Eduardo Alonso and Jerome Henry are the appellants. Jerome Henry is present in the room today, sir.
Okay, Tom, you want to start off?
Sure. So I have a property at 2118 North 7th Street that has been declared as unsafe. The appeal was filed with the department. The paperwork was essentially filled out and says the appellant is Mr. Henry. I only have one question before we move any further. Mr. Henry, how are you associated with the property?
I'm the expediter hired to represent the customer to pull the make safe permit on the plans, and that has been done.
With that said, I move forward and ask the board to deny the appeal in that Mr. Henry doesn't have standing, but as a matter of record, I will say that there is a permit issued for this property and for the repair. So I would like to put on record with Mr. Henry in the room that all work needs to continue and be continuous until that permit is completed, and then the violation would be marked complied. With that, I'll rest.
Okay. So the permit has been, they got the permit, is the work being done?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ryan, what's our next step?
I'm sorry. Mr. Henry, could you repeat what you said? The permit has been. As in
Yes,
pull the work is,
yes, I have the make safe permit and the work is being done presently while we're talking.
okay, and then. I bet
So-
it's ultimately up to LNI is the, don't you mean the violation still exists?
The violation is still open because the permit hasn't been completed. But I'll leave this in your capable hands because Mr. Henry's not the owner, so he really doesn't have standing to file an appeal. But with that said, is there any action by the board because there is an issued permit and work is being done to complete it? So that's the big standing. So
We don't have I don't have an issue, and I'll have to ask Ted and Amy. As long as the permit's there and the work is continuing. Now, Tom, will you guys go out there and check on that?
we are to continue inspecting until that work is deemed completed under that permit.
Okay. And if it isn't, then you have a seat, you'll be back in here?
No, we would expire that permit and then the owner would need to obtain another permit for the repair. If not, then we would seek another line of enforcement, but that's for another decision.
Okay, fine. Mr. Henry, you can relay that message to your client and hopefully good luck and get the work done and make it safe.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Talk to you later.
It was
Thank you.
also another case.
We'll be getting to
'cause
that
they
one
sent
next,
me-
sir.
I'm sorry, say it again.
We'll get to that one next, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, thank you.
Not at all.
Okay. All right, so we're good. We're done with this one. Okay, good luck on this one. All right?
Thank you.
All right.
And Mr. Miller, just to clear things, the next item on the list is 1213 Annan Street, and the appellant in that matter is also going to be Mr. Henry.
Okay, I see it there, right? Okay. All right. So that one's done. All right, everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Henry, are you the only one testifying in this case?
Yes,
Okay, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
yes, sir.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Brad McSherry, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Tom
Philip Motter.
Robikowski. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Philip Motter, Boards Administration.
Tom Robikowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspections.
Tom, raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Phil, could you read that into the record, please?
Yes, sir. This is MI 2024-005-662 for the property located at 1213 Annan Street. Zhao Van and Nguyen and Jerome Henry are the appellants. Mr. Jerome Henry is present in the room, sir.
So, so if you would like me to go, I'll go.
Go ahead, Tom, start off. Same
I'm
issue.
I'm pleased to say that 1213 Annan Street has been marked complied. The permit was completed and the case is closed in our system.
Okay. Nothing else we have to do. All right, Mr. Henry, you're all
Yes,
set
sir.
with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Complied with. Okey dokey. Next one's Race Street. 5437 Race. Is there anybody here from 57 or 5437 Race Street?
There is, sir. It's Miss Cynthia Mason. She is a phone caller coming in.
Oh,
right
I'm
now.
here. This is
There we go.
Cynthia Mason. I'm on phone. I can't
Hello,
get to the
Cynthia.
Zoom. I'm on phone. Yes, good sir.
Okay. Can you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay, my name's Wayne Miller, I'm board member.
Yes.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
McSherry, board counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Philip Motter, Boards Administration.
Tom Robakowski, City of Philadelphia, License and Inspection.
Tom, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay, Phil, could you read that into the record?
Yes, sir. This is MI.
Who's making the echo call?
It's Miss Mason's connection. Something's going on down there that we're getting feedback. I would assume because Debbie's down there.
Yes,
with the
Miss Debbie's here with me.
Okay, it sounds better now. No,
Thank
no, it
you.
don't.
This is MI 2024-005-663 for the property located at 5437 Ray Street. Cynthia Mason is the appellant and she's present in the room.
Okay, Tom, you want to start us off?
So we have a property, 5437 Ray Street.
Hold on a second. Is there another? I apologize. Is there another device that in front of Miss Mason? Are there multiple devices?
Yes, it is. They want you to, they said they want to know about another device. So, yes, it is. Miss Debbie is here with me. They don't want you to use your phone.
Is it possible to turn off one of the devices so you're just on the phone?
Well, she turned it off, he said. But when he heard that ping just now, that's when they, okay, it's off now.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, that's good.
Debbie in a waiting room.
All right, Tom, you want to give us a little bit on this case?
So what we have is the property of 5437 Race has been declared unsafe.
Phil, put Debbie in a waiting room.
I can't put her in a waiting room because she's a co-host. She has to go herself, and so I'm trying to get her to do now.
You ask her to mute.
Can you move the co-host for
The
me?
laptop is
Have her
upstairs.
mute
She's
while Tom's
downstairs with me.
talking.
You can remove the
She's
co-host.
downstairs with me in the MSP building. In the concourse. She's with me. You told me to have her turn her phone off, so that's what you did.
Okay.
She's in the waiting room now.
There's still an echo in it. It's echoing.
Maybe because I'm on speaker, I don't know how to handle that. I'm on speaker.
I don't think it's because you're on speaker.
Can we ask, or Phil, can you mute Miss Mason while we are speaking, and then we will unmute her to speak?
I can do that, but I can't unmute her. I can only ask her to unmute. So every time it's going to require her to unmute herself.
All right, she's muted. We're good.
Okay. All right. Tom, could you tell us a little bit about this case?
What I have is the property at 5437 Race Street has been declared as unsafe. The reason for it being declared unsafe is that the porch had been removed and it has been removed without a permit. It needs to be removed and it needs to be legalized for the removal of the porch and the lack of structure or what's left on the property itself. I'm concerned in that in the appeal that's filed, there's a belief or there's in the writing, Miss Mason puts on the appeal paperwork, holes need to be patched in back roof. So I just want to speak to Miss Mason and see what's going on with the property.
Okay, talk to her, Tom.
Miss Mason, are you residing in the property?
Unmute.
I've sent her the prompt and asked her to unmute.
Are you there now? Hello?
Okay. Hi, Miss Mason. My name is Tom Rodkowski.
Yes.
I just have one question. Are you residing in the property?
Yes, I am. Yes.
I just have to have some just clarification. Are all the utilities functional in the property?
No.
What utilities aren't working in the property?
The water.
You don't have water in the property?
No.
Okay, so that's concerning. You need to have water in your property.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. What do I need to do for the roof? Because I wanted to go through the R Restore, Repair, and Remove program, but I didn't have my satisfactory mortgage note entered. So that's going to be over $1,000. That's the only way I can do it because I've never been able to get enough money after I got the roof removed because it was hanging, the porch roof. I have never been able to get it fixed. This is always something helping my children. And I had another place for one of my kids to live, and that took $1,400 a month for me, and it just really put me into a hardship. I've always helped them when they call me and they needed something.
Okay, so Ms. Mason, so as far as the porch is concerned, I'm gonna make the representation to the board that you would need to get a permit within 90 days.
I should get it? I'll do that.
You need to engage the services of a contractor to legalize the repair and the removal of the porch within 90 days. With that said, I would like to contact you after this hearing and set up an interior inspection of the property. Would you be okay with that?
A what?
An interior inspection of the property. Would you be okay with that?
No, I'm not all right with that, no.
Okay.
Because I'm here for the roof here, and I think that'll be a step to do later, but no.
Okay. All right. So with that
Is
said,
would you want me to ask, would you want a continuance, or you want me to get a permit and have the roof fixed in 90 days? Which is it that you can offer me?
I'm offering to the board that they grant the variance, allowing you to get 90 days to get the permit.
You're offering 90 days. Within that time, I have to get a permit, and that includes with the permit, get someone to fix it? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And what's your name?
Tom.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Tom.
Okay, so you're good with that, getting the permit in 90 days and get that fixed? And start the work in 90 days.
I really want more time because I have to register my deed, which is going to be over $1,000.
I'm sorry, this is the reporter. I'm not able to report this.
Mute yourself.
It's been done, sir.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, it went off somehow. I would like to have a continuance, but if it's 90 days with a permit, and with that permit, I have to find a contractor to fix it. Is that correct?
That's correct. You have 90 days to get the permit, and then you have to start working. You have to keep working until it's made safe.
Okay, then. All right, I got you.
Okay, so you're good with that.
That's all I can do.
Okay.
I would like more time, but can I get more time, or if we got to start with 90 days, I can get a permit, and you said start something.
Ms. Mason, mute yourself for a minute so we can.
You said do what?
Mute yourself.
Mute yourself.
Thank you. Tom, can we clarify that this isn't necessarily unsafe? This is just a violation for work that was done without a permit?
Yes.
Okay. Can we caucus?
Sure.
Both sides are coming up, and you don't care about that.
All right, let's get back in session. What we feel, Ms. Mason, are you listening?
Yes, I'm here.
Ms. Mason, do me a favor. Can you put yourself on mute? Okay. Ms. Mason, what we're looking at, we feel that this violation was written in error, and there's no violation, so the case is dismissed. So you don't have to do anything. All right, can you get back on and let us know you got that information? Miss Mason, Can you hear me?
Star six.
Yes, sir, I heard that.
Okay,
Oh
you
my
heard
God,
that?
thank you. Yes, I did. Is it gonna be in writing too?
Yes, it will. We'll send you something.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
good
you so
luck.
much. Thank you, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank
Okay. I'll take care of that case. Next one would be Lancaster Avenue, 4345. Is anybody here from Lancaster Avenue? Going once? Going twice? 3 times. Is there anyone here from Lancaster Avenue? Okay, let's move on. Next case.
But before we begin, I just want to ask board administration just to put on the record that notice of this hearing was sent to the appellant and the address that it was sent to.
Service to
Well,
the
what we're gonna
appellant.
do, I was gonna go on with the other ones, and if somebody should come, we'll go back to
Okay,
the
well,
end. if they're
that's
there.
fine. That's fine.
Okay, all right, good. Put Lancaster Avenue over there. And now we're at Alder Street. Is there anyone here from Alder Street? What's all that talking in the background?
Unfortunately, that's coming from my area.
All right, Phil, put your hand up, we're gonna have to smack it.
I'm part ventriloquist. You can't see my lips move.
Is there anybody here from Alder Street? 1900. Okay,
Sir, if
let's
I
move
may.
on to the next one.
No, on case number 6, sir, I did
Yeah.
reach out to the appellant, and the appellant, Ronald McClinton, indicated to me that he was no longer the property owner and would probably not be attending this hearing. He has not provided us any documentation in the form of an email or a letter saying he didn't wish to be here today, but he did indicate that via telephone yesterday.
Okay, let's talk about it. Do we have to get sworn in? Because if this is imminently dangerous, we're taking this house down.
No.
Okay?
It's
He ain't here, you don't wanna
unsafe.
come, I don't care if he sold it. That violation wasn't to the person they sold it to, it was to him. As far as we know, he still owns that house.
Wayne, it's marked unsafe, not imminently dangerous.
Unsafe, okay, okay.
All right, I think we should hear both cases without the appellants. There are
And
last 2 violation cases.
Okay.
We
think
have the
that's
next 2 they're the last 2 violation cases, right? So let's read them into the record and say they weren't here. And whatever proper steps have to be taken after that, we will do. Okay, let's go back to 4345 Lancaster Avenue. All right, Phil?
Yes,
There
sir.
it
This
is.
is MI 2024-001-158 for the property located at 4345 Lancaster Avenue. The appellant is Eleanor Nelson. No one is present in the room or the waiting room by that name. Service was made via email to the appellant on 9/11, and the email went through. There was no bounce back.
Okay, so we looked at the person did not come to the hearing. You want us to go through with her not, or Mrs. Nelson not being here and do the case?
I
Ryan?
would say hear what Tom says.
Yeah, hear what Tom says. We'll go through the process. Okay, let's go through the process. The appellant isn't here. Tom, could you please raise your right hand? Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
My name's Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Brad McSherry, Board Counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Tom Robakowski.
Okay, Phil, could you read that in?
What?
Tom, go ahead, Tom, sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, Tom, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Phil, can you read that into the record?
Yes, sir. This is MI 2024-001-158 for the property located at 4345 Lancaster Avenue. Eleanor Nelson is the appellant. No one is present in the room or in the waiting room with that name, and no one's answering to the property.
Okay, Tom, could you tell us a little bit about this, please?
I can tell you that the property at 4345 Lancaster Avenue has been declared as unsafe by the department. Following that declaration, there was a issued and there is a issued make safe permit for the repair of this property. There is no action by the board.
Okay. Very good. Permit obtained. Okay, and the board doesn't have to do nothing. Okay, that's good. Takes care of that one. All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Yes, sir. The next item is number 6. That's MI 2024-005-682 for the property located at 1900 Alter Street, ALTER. Ronald McClinton is the appellant. There's no one in the waiting room or the meeting room with that name. Service was made to the appellant on September 11th to the address he listed in his appeal, 3946 North Smedley Street.
Okay. All right, Tom, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ed August, board member.
Brad McSherry, Board Counsel.
I'm Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Where you at, Phil?
Philip Motto, Boards.
Oh, sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
Philip Motto, Boards Administrator.
Okay, Tom, could you please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Phil, read it into the record.
This is MI 2024-005-682 for the property located at 1900 Alter Street. Ronald McClinton is the appellant. There's no one present in the waiting room or the meeting room with that name, and no one has answered to the call.
Tom, tell us about this project, this job.
I have that the property at 1900 Alter Street had been declared as unsafe by the department. The appellant or the appeal was filed by Ronald McClinton. As of yesterday, we received an email indicating that the owner or Mr. McClinton is no longer the owner. In verifying that, I see a new deed was recorded in March of 2024, recording the property from or transferring the property from Ronald McClinton to a Stafford Painting Contractors LLC. With that said, I don't believe Mr. Clinton has any, or Mr. McClinton has any standing in this matter, and it should be dismissed.
Will it be
So-
rewritten to the new owner?
That's,
The new owner actually obtained a permit for the repair of the property.
okay, so it's dismissed. All right. All right. That was done. Okay. They're all done, all the violations are finished. Next one will be Holden Street, and it's a refusal.
And
that
we have the
said,
appellants. in the room,
Everybody
sir.
enjoy the weekend.
You too,
Hey,
Tom,
Pradeep.
take it easy, thanks, pal.
And on that matter, sir, number 7, we do have the appellants, Eileen Quigley and Meredith Trago in the room.
Morning, everybody. Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Eileen Quigley.
Hold on a second, excuse me. Are you a lawyer?
Am I a lawyer? Eileen Quigley? Yes, I am. And so is
Okay.
Meredith Trago.
So am I, yes.
Excuse me?
And we have a
Are
couple
both
others.
of you guys lawyers?
Yes, we're
Yes.
from Ballard Spa representing the applicant.
Okay, we don't have to swear you in because you guys never lied, all right? So that's what we
Thank
like,
you.
all right?
We do
All right,
have a
is there
couple
anybody
other,
else testifying except the 2 lawyers?
yes.
Yes.
Who's that?
Drew Kometz,
Where's Drew at?
Raise your hand.
Here. Hi.
and we also have
Can I see
Pradeep.
your face, Drew?
My
Stick
camera's
your head in
on.
the picture. There you go. Hi, Drew.
Oh, hi.
Drew, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Sorry,
I
we
do.
also have Pradeep Parekh, who will be testifying as well.
Okay, where's Parik Parekh?
You
Parik,
don't
where
see
you
him?
at?
Right here.
We see your
Good
face.
afternoon.
Okay, Parik, please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
Is there anyone else?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted August, board member.
Brad McSherry, board counsel.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI supervisor.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay, Phil, could you read that into the record, please?
Yes, sir. This is MI 2024-005-548 for the property located at 4401 Holden Street. Eileen Quigley Esquire and Meredith Trago Esquire are the appellants, and they are both present in the room today, sir.
Okay, whoever's going to present the case, please do. You want to share the screen? Go ahead.
Right, I'll go ahead and share my screen right now.
Go ahead.
Can everyone see that?
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. Hi, again, my name is Meredith Trago, here with Eileen Quigley from Ballard Spar. We're here on behalf of West Park Community Partners in the development of the site at 4401 Holden Street. This project is a public-private partnership between West Park Community Partners and the Philadelphia Housing Authority. Our current zoning application involves the renovation of an existing multifamily tower and construction of 4 new multifamily buildings. This phase 1 of the project will include a total of 327 affordable and mixed income residential units, as well as some ground floor retail. The project also reintegrates a street grid into the subject parcel and provides a direct connection for the development to the SEPTA Market Frankfurt line. The team initiated this process through the preliminary plan review, which confirmed that our project would not meet the standard of section 503.1.1 of the IFC, which requires that the fire apparatus access road extend to within 150 feet of all portions of the facility and all portions of the exterior walls of the building. We have a 139-foot section of the western facade of our proposed building A that does not comply with this requirement. And our variance request seeks to provide an alternative and equivalent form of construction. With us today, as I mentioned, we have Drew Kometz with Ernie McHenry Architects, as well as Pradeep Parekh of Jensen Hughes. And I'm going to pass it off to Drew Kometz to walk through the project right now. So Drew, feel free to direct me on the screen.
Sure. Thanks, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm going to go through this relatively quickly, just give you maybe a little context that is important to, as Meredith mentioned, the specific variance to the building and fire codes we're asking for today. Please feel free. I'm happy to go into more detail, but as you can imagine, for this 15-acre site, it's a pretty big project with a lot of moving parts. So to get started, the site is a bit of a landlocked super block. We only have 2 minor frontages, despite being such a large site. There's a little frontage on Market Street. There we have the SEPTA line, which is both a benefit and a bit of a hindrance, as this is where, if you'll recall, SEPTA Market L used to all be elevated. This is where they had buried the portion that continues to Center City to the east of this site. And then the other access to the site is here on Palatine Avenue, right where Meredith's cursor is. The ownership team with West Park Community Partners and PHA has been working pretty intensely with the community group about redeveloping this site. If you're familiar at all with it, there are 3 existing towers that had been vacated in 2022 and need of pretty significant repairs and renovations. We're not actually going to be talking about those towers today. We did include some items in the preliminary plan review, but we're able to have those confirmed without coming to you for the variance for those. While this is a big site, we're actually dividing it up into a couple different phases. So what we're highlighting here is phase 1 of the project on the south side. It's going to really reconnect to the neighborhood, or I should probably say connect, because the current building is site is pretty poorly connected to Market Street. Just for a little context, we labeled the buildings A, B, and C. A is the building we're here to talk about today. That's a 5/2 type construction. So that's kind of the combustible type 3B over 2 stories of type 1A construction. We're calling the existing tower that's being renovated building B. And then we have a townhouse style of buildings. They're technically multi-family buildings that we're calling C. But as I said, building A is going to be. I'm gonna unmute myself. Okay. The occupancy is R2 pretty much throughout the site. Meredith did say there's some minor commercial retail space, some storage, some amenity space for the buildings. There's the 325 units out of 1,000 total, plus or minus 1,000 total anticipated for the entire site. And as Meredith mentioned, there's a lot of affordable housing that's really a benefit to the city and maximizing the potential of the site. We could go into a lot more detail, but I'm going to do the cliff notes. As part of this project, we also are reinstituting a street grid on the site. So you can see the extent of that in phase 1. Nehemiah Way is now connecting to Powelton Avenue and harkens to the rest of Nehemiah Way, which is not connected to the site to the west. And then we made a loop road, which actually connects to some northbound streets that aren't shown in phase 1 in the future. So we call that Holden Street. We did develop that street grid, pretty intense operation with the streets department and the fire department for truck turning movements and kind of compliance with the Complete Streets initiatives. I think the next thing that's probably good for some context is talking about the existing conditions and the grade changes that happen. So the surrounding part of the site, as I think Meredith's highlighting on Market Street and the parking lot at Aldi immediately to the west, is about 20 to 25 feet lower than where in the intended plan where the Holden Street loop comes around between building A and building B. So there's a pretty big grade change we have to make up for there. We right now, if you maybe Meredith goes to the other photos, the only connection to Market Street, maybe even the next set of photos, is a very limited, unfriendly on the right-hand side. We call it the gauntlet. It's a triple switchback stair. There's no inviting entrance. There's no great connection to the abundant transport facilities on Market Street, including the 46th Street SEPTA L station that's there. So the project is really looking to radically improve this connection. We have a series of things. I don't know that we have to go into too much detail, but we've got public plazas. It's connecting to a play area. We're including some commercial storefront right here on Market Street, set back from the street a little bit. So we're really looking to make this a transformative project. We're also increasing the accessibility. Right now, you can't get up. We're going to do a terrace landscape and ramps to make it accessible for all people to enjoy what this restored site has to offer. Meredith also mentioned the grading. If we go back up maybe to the Aldi site to the west is also pretty significant, about 20 feet on that side. So the diagram that we provided, which was developed in conjunction with multiple conversations with the fire code unit, specifically Lieutenant Dimes, has a total of 3 access roads. 2 of them are the primary access roads up off of this Holden Street loop. Holden Street, as I think I alluded to, will be dedicated back to the city. So those will be public streets. And then we have 2 private roads on our site to service as fire access roads. And we've also included kind of a secondary access in response to comments from Lieutenant Dimes, and that comes off of Market Street and kind of drives up on the lowest plaza there a little bit into the site and increases the availability of fire personnel to the site. I think I've hit all my contextual points. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. If not, I think Pradeep is a little more fluent in the nuances of the code and is going to run you through the specifics of the variance request. Pradeep.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. So the code requirements for the 150-foot prescriptive limit there are exceptions available to that. The exceptions, however, are subject to approval by the fire department, the responding emergency department. There are no limits to that exception. So a building that is fully sprinkled, or a building that has alternative approved means of protection, that distance of 150 feet can be extended as much as the responding agency is comfortable with. In this case, that's why we spoke directly to the fire department prior to filing for a preliminary plan review, and also prior to the filing for the variance. This was the result of that series of communications. As Drew mentioned, we have two primary means of access for fire department staff. There will be from Holden Street, which will be the permit address. So when there's a 911 call, that will be the primary address. And so we've maintained those to account for the greatest amount of coverage of the perimeter as possible. However, along the west facade, where you see that 139-foot dimension, basically we're exposed to 2 or 3 separate distinct conditions. One is the cross slope with the Aldi, meaning that any roadway created there would need some barrier protection or something along those lines, some curbs, which would be very disruptive to the footprint of the building and further reduce it. And then from the north approach, we're abutting adjacent properties. So accommodating a turn there would mean that the building is even further shrunk. But the most significant grade change is the need to activate Market Street as a thoroughfare, as connecting to the pedestrian. Again, with his PHA, we expect people to be using public transportation and using the amenities in their vicinity as much as possible, like Aldi and the other facilities around in the geography. We're creating the plaza level to allow for pedestrian access onto Market Street. We're doubling that to provide a secondary fire access point. However, the actual fire department vehicle access, the main lanes, will be off of Holden Street. That is where we're expecting the first approach to be by the fire department. What these 3 access points effectively do is limit the area that hoses can reach. Extend the area that fire department hoses can reach for basically almost all of the perimeter except for this 139-foot section. For that provision, for that portion, we're providing an exterior fire department connection so that interior suppression can be supplemented, and any fire that's in this vicinity would be attacked by the sprinklers that have already been activated that will be continuously fed. That means that there's no real need to suppress the fire from the exterior, as the interior sprinkler system is being energized by the exterior pumper. What that also means is that when the fire department approaches any of these one of 3 methods, it leaves additional additional access points available for other emergency vehicles, whether it be ambulances or police, that they are not restricted from approaching the building because we've provided additional above code access points. These things together, again, and the building will be fully sprinkled with an NFPA 13 system. So all of these things together are available by code to apply an exception if approved by the fire department. And so this is effectively what was approved by the fire department. Sorry, not effectively. This is the arrangement that was agreed to with the fire department to make sure that we are meeting the intent of the code. The fire department also maintained that as this is a new building and it's under L&I permitting purview, that it should be documented as part of the certificate of occupancy through the BBS variance process. They did not have any, and Lieutenant Dimes, I believe, is in attendance, but they did not have any specific objections with this arrangement. There is one clarifying point that I would like to add, which is the fire department vehicle access. The primary fire department vehicle access to the site remains Holden Street, and that's because we want the access point to match the address of the property, which will be reflected on the CO and any emergency calls. So we don't expect that the Market Street access point to be where the fire department will extend ladders to reach occupants in upper levels of the building. So it would be ignored for the determination of a high-rise building because it's remote to the actual building perimeter. And we're open to any questions the board may have or any other information you may need.
Hey, Dimes, John,
Yes, sir.
did you look at this?
Yes.
Were you involved with this?
Yeah, and we're good with it. Like the code allows the exceptions. So like Pradeep said at the beginning, it doesn't really give parameters. It really is up to the fire code unit. And we took a look at this, and it really comes down based on the topography, the railroad tracks and stuff like that. There's only so much you can do. So based on what we've developed or what they proposed, and I looked at, it's nothing's perfect because of the plot of land it is and how it is, but this gives us a pretty good insurance being a fully sprinkler building, which is the code anyway, and the multiple access points with the additional FDC that we feel pretty good about fighting this fire in the appropriate amount of time. And if we had to get inside, we'd be able to get inside and do all the functions that the fire department does.
John, would you be able to, how would you access the 139 foot? You're putting a fire department connection there and you're putting one over the other side, right, with the test header?
Okay.
How will you be able to?
Yeah,
access?
I mean, I know there's a slope there, but I mean, the things we've went down through alleyways and hills we climb and stuff like that. No, it's not ideal, but there's so many situations we go into that aren't ideal. I mean, without visually seeing the site and looking at this plan, I'm not an architect. There is a way to get a man back there, to hit that FDC, right, Pradeep?
Yes. So you'll notice that the 139 foot section is connected through a level to a largely level and clear path, or it will be made largely level and clear with the primary access point along the. So it's a fire access road 1. You can see that.
How high is that? How high is that building?
In what sense? To the roof?
What's the height? Yeah.
So it's 72 feet to the roof from Holden Street.
Okay, just under high rise. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's actually so to the topmost floor, it's 59 feet. We have but also to point out, the 139 foot section stops before you reach any significant grade at the southernmost point. There is some grade there, and we'll do what we can to mitigate that. But the idea is we're not trying to expose firefighters to any significant grade. That's why we have the Market Street access as well. One thing that's not entirely clear, but the plaza level at the southernmost point of the building has a commercial tenant space that also introduces an entryway into the main lobby of the building. You have to go up some stairs. So the idea is we can separate the commercial from the residential to make sure we can maximize residential units on the other levels. But to do that, we do have to activate this plaza, and hence the grading we're proposing.
The fire pumps in this building too?
Yes, if we can zoom in just a little bit, the site plan, where you see that the connection of where the L, basically, the elbow of the L. If you just move your cursor north, yeah, exactly. So where it says it says proposed building A level 1 in the center of the L, yeah, we go. So it's basically that's where the fire pump room is. It has an exterior door to the outside.
Okay. The rest of these buildings don't have anything to do with this, does it?
Can you repeat that question? Sorry.
Does the rest of these buildings tie into this one with the fire pump, or are all separate sprinkler systems?
They're all separate sprinkler systems.
Okay, all right. And the underground is just into all the different buildings. You just don't go into one building and you run it through. Okay. All right.
No, they all have their own foundations. They're pretty much all slab on grade except for the existing tower, which has a basement. So no, there's no underground connection.
I'm comfortable with this, given the fire department's, comfort level. One question out of curiosity, is the Aldi parking lot that's over across from that, 139-foot area, is that an area that a pumper could in fact have access to and in an extreme event?
Yeah, logistically, yes, but it would be up to the fire department if that's their SOP to go on an adjacent property.
Right. I'm just wondering if that's okay.
Depending upon the type of fire it is, if it becomes a defensive operation, we can do a tower ladder or something like that and shoot water from there, depending upon the elevation. Again, if we were in that parking lot, how far away would it be? If the elevation's different, we have 100-foot ladders, but at an angle, we usually our operating range is somewhat less than that. So, yeah, I mean, we use all adjacent in an emergency situation. When in row houses, we'll go through somebody else's row house with a hose, go around back. We've done that. So, yeah,
you won't come through my house.
We just didn't want to count on that if something develops there or something. So I think our dialogue with Lieutenant Dimes was to make sure it still was adequate on just our site. But yes.
Dimes, you don't have any other issues with that? Nothing at all? You good?
No, sir.
All right. Ed, Ted and Amy, you want to caucus or are you good with it?
I'm good with it. I don't think we need to.
Yeah, I'm
Don
good.
says it's all right. I'm all right with it.
Likewise.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you
you
all
very
very
much.
much for your
Thank you.
time. Have a great
Appreciate
day.
your time.
Good
See
seeing
you.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Good seeing you, Doug. Lieutenant
Yeah,
Okay.
nice to see you.
Matt, take care. Thank you.
Okay. One more.
Sweet.
Okie dokie. What do we got here? Sheldon Street. All right. Everybody here from Sheldon Street, Phil?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay, who's here from Sheldon Street?
Mr. Michael Thompson.
Mike?
Yes.
Thompson?
Mike Thompson. Yep.
Hey, Mike, are you a lawyer?
I am an architect.
Okay, good. Please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
I swear to tell the whole truth, the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
There you go. Is anybody else testifying with you?
I have in the room with me and off to my right, Jimmy Hooray. He's an architect here at Design Labs with me.
Okay, Jim, you're gonna be testifying. Please raise your right hand, swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
All right, is there anyone else?
Our clients should be joining us here shortly. They were waiting on that last one to wrap up.
Okay.
But I don't know if will testify as needed.
If they do, I'll swear them in when we go in. All right?
Sounds good.
All right. I'm Wayne Miller, board member.
Amy Rivera, board member.
Ted Ogden, board member.
John Dimes, Fire Code.
Robert Sherry, Board Counsel.
Matthew Wojcik, LNI Supervisor.
Philip Motto, Boards Administration.
Okay, Phil, you want to read that in for the record?
Yes, sir. This is MI 2024-005-583 for the property located at 4705 Sheldon Street, parcel B. Michael Thompson is the appellant. He's present in the room, sir.
Okay, whoever's going to present the case, go ahead.
Sure. Do you guys mind if I share my screen?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Let me just pull this up. Okay, so the project that we're here to discuss today is 4705 Sheldon Street. The existing lot at 4705 is a single lot with a single family dwelling located on the Sheldon Street side of that property. The site actually abuts two streets, Cross Street on the right side, we'll call that the Plan East side, and Sheldon on the Plan West side. Our client seeks to subdivide the lot. In fact, they've already subdivided the lot. That's been approved. They will be demolishing the existing premises and replacing it with a new single-family dwelling. on lot A, which is on the Sheldon Street side, and over on lot B, or premises B, on the Cross Street side, we've created another lot for another single-family dwelling. And then we've left a third lot, which we call premises C, which becomes a portion of our utility easement as well as a general driveway access easement that serves the single-family dwelling on premises B and the single-family dwelling that will be developed on premises A. In the course of trying to permit the project, we received a refusal from L&I. And they are citing that the project that we are trying to permit, which is a home, a single-family dwelling on this premises B, has windows up along the property line on this property line right here. And what they are claiming in the refusal is that we are not allowed to have windows between 0 and 3 feet on an exterior wall up against the property line. And we disagree with this, just looking at the language of the code itself. So the section cited in that refusal was 705.8, which is right here. We are unprotected, non-sprinklered. So we do agree with his statement there. However, what I think is the differentiator here is the site itself. So we are treating this as an alleyway, and I don't believe that is being recognized in the assessment by the city. But when reviewing fire separation distance term in the code itself, we find that there are a couple different ways of measuring that. And option 2 under the fire separation distance definition is to the center line of a street, an alley, or a public way. And in our opinion, premises C is a 12-foot wide alley that's supporting both vehicular traffic to access both properties as well as utilities that are down below. So we're asking for relief to allow us to place windows along this elevation of the single-family home as designed on premises B. And if we are granted that relief, that automatically, I believe, accepts the other refusal that we have, which cites us for not having windows on that elevation and for those bedrooms. You want to walk through the floor plan? I can walk you through the floor plan quickly. These are our life safety plans. So the single family dwelling itself is 4 stories. Level 1 is our entry level. We do have an office downstairs as well as a bedroom. Bedroom has a window that's looking out onto the premises C lot that we were just discussing. Moving upstairs, most of the living space is on the 2nd floor. Moving beyond that, on the 3rd floor, you see additional bedrooms along that same wall that's facing premises C. And on the 4th floor, we have 1 additional bedroom. This one has a window facing out to Cross, and this one has another window facing out to premises C on the rear side of the building, which would be this side. So we have windows here, here, and bedrooms at both of those lot lines. We're asking that the board allows us to treat premises C as an alleyway in order to allow us to place those windows.
When you say as an alleyway, will it be recorded as a roadway? Will it be recorded as an easement for the purposes of A and B?
It's a great question, and it's one, forgive me, I forgot to mention, but this has been recorded as an easement. It's a utility and access easement, and it will be in the deeds.
Sorry, Matthew Wojcik here. When was it recorded, and do you have the document number?
So they aren't fully recorded at this point in time. Our clients, Daniel and Lauren, who have joined us here, are working through that process to have them recorded at this point in time. I believe their legal team is writing them up for submission to the city or OPA.
Right.
And per the approvals that we have, they only say that a new deed must be recorded prior to the expiration of the zoning permit or issuance of a C of O.
But the intent is that they will be recorded as a drive aisle easement as stated.
So here's my question, if that was turned down, that easement, would they get a variance? Would we be inclined to give you a variance? That's my question. Matthew? Matthew,
What?
if they got turned down, would you say that they would get it, would it be in code? Would it be okay to give a variance for that?
So
Or if the easement, if they didn't get the easement, that would that call all bets off?
I
Would we
mean,
give a variance now?
I mean, at this point, it's not a matter of whether or not like they're like approved to get the easement. It's just like procedurally they have to record the deeds with the Department of Records. Otherwise, like it's not like real.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like,
we
this is-
understand. So
yeah.
our understanding is that the easement has been recorded at the first level, and to Matthew's point, the next step of finalizing that easement is recording the deeds with the city, which again, our clients are in the process of working through at this point in time.
Okay. So is it just
Right.
preliminary that you're in here?
We're actually,
Sorry.
we're trying to get the building permit to get the project moving.
So when the variance, basically any variance granted now is just because like, it's just because like I go into, you know, the Department of Records website, I look up Sheldon, I look up this property and the last time recorded that's a deed is from 2017. So I'm like, it's not real.
Yeah.
Until
yeah,
I see
no,
it in
we-
there, it's not real, essentially. That's why
So-
those variant, those refusal items are there.
Yeah, our understanding is, again, we're working through the building permit review at this point in time. At the zoning level, all three properties and all three uses have been approved at the zoning level. Matthew, I think to your point, I understand that it's not showing up because the deeds haven't been fully recorded. So like OPA and Atlas are still showing it as one property until the new OPA addresses, account numbers are issued via deed recording. The point in our process now is we're in the building permit review. We were able to move forward to the building permit while the clients are working towards recording the deed. During the building permit review process, this came up because they're viewing premises C as a separate parcel and not as an alley or an easement that would allow the fire separation distance to be measured to the midpoint of it.
Yeah, if we were, if this was in earlier in the process or there was some doubt about it, you know, and Amy and Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think we would be inclined to grant a variance with a proviso that there be a recorded easement, you know, that addresses premises C, and that if it did not, if that did not happen, then you would have the exposure to have to close up the openings that are not in compliance, either initially or if somebody were to build as of right on premises C in the future. So it's cleaner if you have the recorded easement rather than us having to kind of create a variance. And I guess, Ryan, that's kind of a question is, do they have to sort of pick one way or the other, or is it, can we simply, or would we have to grant a variance rather than kicking it down the road?
I mean, I think we would have to be granting a variance.
Okay.
And I have a question. And this is for Matthew, has that side elevation been looked at as far as where the new perceived property line is, or the center line of that easement, and the number of openings?
I mean, because that easement deed was not recorded yet, we just didn't look at it as an easement because as far as we're concerned, like that easement doesn't actually exist yet. It's going to be separate parcels. So
that still has to happen.
yeah. But this is R3, right? So I think once you get, yeah, so like, and that's gonna be how wide? Like, I think it said like 6 feet in the appeal.
It's it's 6 feet is the fire separation distance, 12 feet is the minimum variable width to meet, the city's standards for a, drive aisle. The property does angle slightly along that, so it varies down to a minimum of 12 feet wide.
Correct.
Right. So fire separation distance, half of that is around 6. Right. Roughly 6 feet fire separation distance along that wall, right? So for R3, since this is a single family dwelling, that table is 705.8. There's a note underneath it. It's note, let's see, F.
Okay.
Yeah, you found it too. The area of unprotected and protected openings shall not be limited for group R3 occupancies with a fire separation distance of 5 feet or greater. So as soon as that deed for the easement is recorded, which will also go along with the deeds for the newly subdivided properties, they'll be able to have unlimited openings along that wall, and any variance would just become immediately moot.
Thank you.
All right. Any other issues?
I mean, the
so
emergency escape and egress openings, that issue would also be solved immediately upon recording the deed for the easement. Because then they would have access from that opening to a public right of way.
Matt, in the meantime, would that keep them from getting a CO? If let's say it wasn't recorded by the time they were ready to apply for a CO?
Yes.
Or yeah, or would
Ben
it
or
be?
Amy, you want to caucus?
CO, no?
No?
I guess, yeah, the only other question is whether, John, Dimes, whether you have any thoughts on this or, concerns. You're on mute, John, if you're there.
Yeah, I'm there. I apologize for that.
No, no worries.
So this seems to be more of an easement thing, right? So, I mean, the code's the code. It's 0 to 3 feet. You can't have window openings, but if there's an alleyway that can't be built upon, that's the issue, correct?
Yeah. And that easement is not yet recorded with the Department of Records, but they say they're working on it.
Okay, so I mean, that to me, that would be a proviso. I mean, you kind of want that separation, right? So, yeah.
All right. And then we're good with it, and when you get the easement, everything else goes away, but we'll give you a variance with the proviso. If it doesn't, then we have to come back and talk about it. All right?
That's good.
Okay, guys, good luck.
Thank you.
All right.